Hello all the anime fans around the world and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'll be talking about all the spring releases that I am watching right now, as well as I would recommend few to you. And there are also a bunch of animes which have just come out, like their debut season has just come out. So I'll be talking about both of them, a bit about the story and how I feel about them, and let's hope you find a good recommendation out of this. And without any further delay, let's dive right in. First anime on my list is Demon Slayer and the recent season that came out, the Hashira training arc. So a few days back the movie just came out, which basically was the first episode of this season, where we basically saw the heroes are recovering from their previous battle with Upper Moon 4 and 5, and after this they decide to train themselves to face the stronger Upper Moons like Doma, Akaza and Kokushibo, as well as to face Muzan. So they need to be really on the top of their game. And one of the strategies that the heroes have right now is to unlock their Demon Slayer mark basically, for which they decide to train. So they pair up in different groups, and this season will mostly show how the heroes will upgrade their power and how they will become stronger than they are. So it is not as exciting as the last few seasons. However, this will help us learn about the backstories of few of the important characters, a few Hashiras, and also the conflicts they are facing. So I am not as excited as I was for the previous seasons, and I'll be looking forward to the next season. But this is definitely worth a watch if you want to follow the entire story. However, if you have read the manga, you can go ahead and skip this season. It's like you will not be missing out much. So that's the first anime on my list, and some highlighting. If I had to highlight a few key moments, we get to learn about Gyu and the bonding that Gyu will have with Tanjiro. This is already This is the episode of this has already come out, so go ahead and check that out. And yeah, that's it for this one. Moving on to the next one. Second anime on my list is Boku no Hero Academia, the season 7 of which has just come out. And if you have seen the last few seasons, I think this is one of those animes which did not start out as with the hype as it has right now. So the previous season was pretty exciting. We have seen the villains as well as some backstory about the heroes. So we now know more about characters like Endeavor and Hawk, and we also have seen villains like Dabi and Tomura powering up to the level that they are right now. So this season will mostly be about the bridge before before we enter into the final arcs, which is the battle between the heroes and the villains. We are introduced to this American legend, Star and Stripe, and we'll see more about her power as well as how she will be facing one of the villains. I do not want to dive more into the story. It is something I would suggest you go and watch. This is exciting. I would say this season is more. I'm more excited about this season rather than Demon Slayer at this point of time. So yeah, looking forward to it. And this is a recommendation from my side. And now we move on to the next one. So the third anime on my list is Tsukimichi Moonlight Fantasy, the season 2 of which has just come out. So this anime is not as popular at the moment. However, I personally really enjoyed watching this anime when it started out as a normal isekai anime. However, right now the story has been building up and it is at a very interesting build-up stage. So I am excited. I like to read more about it in the future as well. So here we see this protagonist Makoto, who gets transported from the human world to a magical world where there are numerous different magical creatures such as dragons, then goddesses, demons. We get a background of the demons fighting with the humans and the goddesses helping the humans, as well as Makoto being summoned into that world to help out the humans. However, he has a bit of fight with the goddess because of her insulting him for the way he looks. Like he is not his appearance is not as attractive as she imagined he would be. So she develops a hatred towards the goddess, and yeah, and then the story that takes on from there. So in the second season, we see that Makoto gets two aides in the first season, Mio as well as Tomoe, along with Shiki at the very end of the first season. And this is his journey into the human world and how he sets up his merchant business over there. Eventually he becomes a teacher at an academy where he has to train a bunch of students. Now there are way too many characters in this to mention each of them individually. Simultaneously we learn that the goddess has summoned two heroes from the human world into this into the magical world to help the humans. And now one of the heroes appears to be slightly shady, and we haven't seen much of them as of yet, but eventually I think they will also play an important role in the story moving forward. Apart from that, we are introduced to a greater demon, and he appears a little bit sus at this moment. So let's see what happens. Currently we are at a stage where the demon has launched an attack on the humans, and how Makoto is helping them to like fight the demons back. And yeah, I personally really enjoyed this anime, and I do recommend give it a watch if you might like this as well. And also this anime has a lot of funny moments, so it's like the fight scenes are there, but there's also a lot of humor. So if you are into that kind of a light-hearted but also intense series, this is definitely worth a watch. So yeah, that's it for my third recommendation. So now we move on to all the new releases which just came out in this spring 2024. And to start the list, we have the very popular Kaiju number 8. In case you are not familiar, so this is the story about a protagonist, Kafka Hibino, and how he was working in the cleaning corp and eventually joins the military in order to deal with kaijus, who are basically the main antagonist of the series. So this series is very funny. Like the entire, like almost every episode so far has some of its funny moments, as well as there are some really good fight scenes in this anime. Apart from Kafka, we have a bunch of side characters whose stories are very interesting as well, especially his best friend in this series, Mina Ashiro, who happens to be the captain of the third division, in which Kafka is also a part of. And he also has Reno Ichigawa, who is a friend of his, who encourages Kafka to join the defense force again. So yeah, these are some of the important characters. There's also Shinomiya, who is basically the daughter of a very powerful character. And yeah, so the series ensures about how he fits into the military while hiding his identity as the kaiju. And as at the very first his introduction into that army, we see that his power level is way below the averages, and how he powers up from there and how he uses his knowledge to fight with the kaiju without revealing himself. That's what the first season will mostly be about. So yeah, definitely give it a watch in case you haven't. And the animation level of this is insane. This is easily one of the new big series that is about to come. So that's it. Final anime that I am watching, which also is a new release, is Windbreaker. So Windbreaker is the story about Sakura, who is a delinquent who has very limited social skills, and in his previous town he was feared and people would not deal with him, and kind of he got outcasted over there, and he has a very negative impression about people. However, he moves to a new town and joins a new school, which is popularly known as Bofurin, the protector of people. And this school has all the powerful people gathered at once, and they are the heroes of the town. They rescue the people of the town from all the bad people. And when Sakura joins, he ends up saving people from the town, and as a result he gets a lot of appreciation for that heroic act. And since because of his limited social skill, he is not able to respond to that properly. And yeah, eventually they starts developing bond with everyone around. And he also meets his classmates, who are all like insane, like they're all funny, but they're at the same time, whenever there's a fight going down, they mean business. And yeah, we see how he bonds with his classmates, as well as how they collectively take on very like strong opponents. So this is an anime. I think it's like it has only started right now, but it's going at a very good pace. So let's see how it goes, and I am personally very excited for this. Now there are two final animes which has like the new seasons of which have come out, but I have not yet watched it, but they are on my watch list, so I thought I'll discuss about them as well. So the first one is The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3. So this is a series that has been on my watch list for a very long time. I have started watching it, but eventually I dropped it, and again recently I started watching it. I'm currently in season 1 itself, but I have heard good things about this anime, and I am excited to see how the new season will be. So let's see how that goes. And the second on my list is Bartender. So now this is a strange anime that I just saw in the top list, and I thought, why not? So I have added it to my watch list, but I haven't seen it yet. So these are the two animes that I would love to watch, and so that's it. These are all the animes that I am watching right now. Uh, I personally enjoyed most of them, so you can definitely choose if you are if you are a new watcher or if you are a seasoned watcher as well. I hope any of them might be useful to you. And let me know what you're watching. If you have any recommendations, anything at all, let me know in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel. And that's it for today. I'll return with another anime discussion later. Bye for now.